Okay, we have the big weekend overview with Tulsi Gabbard's massive exposure. For the first time over the weekend, we are getting Barack Obama named. This could lead to...
They believe that no one, especially the president, is above the law.
There could be a serious investigation where everyone knows now what Barack Obama did. This is real news and actual real blighting of his character. And my thing is, the truth is even more important than justice or prosecution. So there's a lot of people that get upset going, nothing will happen, nothing will happen. Well, this is something that happens. That is, if the truth gets out, it is a huge benefit to everyone, for everyone to know exactly what Barack Obama did. Him going to jail is secondary. That is, once the truth gets out, then you find out who gets punished and who doesn't. I get it. Everyone wants justice on this world. Frankly, I want the truth on this world first. And we've gone without the truth now for over 8 years on this topic. So to me, it's a huge praise the Lord victory if the truth merely gets out.
Both Kash and Dan were pretty clear. They're going to follow the facts. They're going to provide transparency. And then ultimately, it's up to the Department of Justice to hold these dirty cops responsible for what they've drugged this country through for the last almost decade now.
Well, you've called Jim Comey like a figurehead, but talked about others who are really driving this lie. Let me ask you this. Who do you believe was the mastermind behind the Russia collusion lie?
This was lit on fire by Obama, Team Obama and his team, after Trump won in 2016.
And Barack Obama goes down in history in shame and defame, as everyone knows exactly what he did to weaponize the government against Trump, an innocent man, regarding Russia. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are. I hope you all have subscribed, because that's how you say thank you for our good work. And shout out to all you all. You know, you're just the best audience in the world. And I've always said this, I don't deserve you guys, but I do like working for you guys, even on my vacation here in San Diego. Okay, here we go. We're zeroing in on the bombshell developments from Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, who's straight up exposing Barack Obama and his cronies for undermining President Trump with the phony Russia narrative. This is big in that it's a fresh declassifications are dropping just yesterday, and that goes all the way back to July 18th, proving the Obama administration manufactured the whole hoax to subvert our democracy and steal the people's will. Now, for months, might even be years, we've said Barack Obama has been controlling the Democrat Party in secret behind the scenes. Well, now we at least see one clear example of a mandate that he gave for them to get Trump and tie him to Russia that really had 4 years worth of legs on it that ran with it, okay? This falls under a treasonous conspiracy.
Me personally, I think if you're going to find criminality, it's going to be with Mueller and his witch hunters that were there for so many years. I think that's where you're going to find the corruption. So it wasn't just I said this many times, Maria, and I think it was lost on people. It wasn't just about all the corruption that they did to create and manufacture the Russia hoax. The Mueller investigation itself was a hoax and was illegal.
I'll break it down with tons of specifics from multiple sources like Fox News, and I also pull from liberal sources like the New York Times, The Guardian, The Hill, Gabbard's own Hannity interview, which we've showed videos of earlier. Let's dive into this and celebrate this massive win for accountability. First time this truth has come out. So I'm going to sit on this for a while and keep going back to these details as they unfold, including I'll be curious to see what Barack Obama says. You know, he's going to try and laugh it off like the cool rat pack. Oh, those wacky Republicans. Are they doing it again? Are they doing this again? That's what I think he's going to do. He's going to pretend like there's no threat. He probably knows that there may be no justice, by the way. First, let's hit the core of Gabbard's epic takedown. She's released overwhelming evidence that the Obama administration deliberately manufactured intelligence to create the 2016 Russian election interference narrative, all to sabotage Trump's victory. And according to Fox News, Gabbard declassified documents showing that the months before the election, this is 2016, the intelligence community assessed Russia was, quote, probably not trying to influence the election by using cyber means, unquote. Now, that was my opinion all the way back there as I go. And by the way, this cuts both ways. Democrats were saying Russia, Russia, Russia. They were going to come in and they were going to manipulate machines and tip them toward Trump and away from Hillary. And they're going to take over all of our media and secretly fund all of this marketing for Trump and against Hillary Clinton. Okay. And I thought it was laughable because you can just look around at the articles being written. You can look around at I look at the Facebook ads that are being purchased on Facebook back then when they were saying Russia was taking it over. They spent like about 100, I think it was 100 and 150 grand of the most ridiculous pro-Trump, anti-Hillary. It showed like Hillary, like arm wrestling the devil or something. It's like the idea that this would change one vote was hilarious. And there was never really evidence that we knew Putin kind of wanted Hillary to win too. So again, it was never clear. So it's ridiculous to think, and this is what losers do. When you lose an election, you start constructing stories saying, my guy was really good or my gal was really good. And it was really just unfair that the other side stole the election. So it happens when Hillary lost in 2016. It happened when we lost in 2020. And then it happened again when Trump won in 2020-24. The other side said this election was stolen. Now, Mike Lindell's the one that said in 2020 that like Venezuelan servers and Dominion, and I'm not saying that stuff is false, don't get me wrong. I'm only saying that it is common for whatever side loses going all the way back to claim the other side stole the election. That's a fact. Okay, so after Trump won, everything flipped. A key presidential daily brief on December of 2016 prepared by agencies like, this is the CIA, the FBI, NSA, and the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, stated flat out that Russian and criminal actors did not impact recent U.S. election results. So Obama knew their conclusion was it did not affect it.
Saw with the report that Tulsi put out, I mean, we're talking about there needs to be criminal prosecution and arrest, lying under oath, putting out a false intelligence report. That's a violation of 18 U.S. Code 1001 that comes with a 7-year prison sentence and up to $250,000 fine.
That brief got yanked before reaching Obama thanks to new instructions and was replaced by a rushed intelligence community, IC, intelligence community assessment on January 6th in 2017. So this is, January 6th, that's the inauguration. They're starting the inauguration through January 20th, 2017, claiming Putin wanted to help Trump, relying on the bogus Steele dossier that was invented by the Clinton campaign, hired a UK spy, Steele, to create the Steele dossier full of lies, which was full of unverified dirt. RT reports over 100 pages of emails, memos, and records providing this manipulation with initial assessments suppressed post-election to fuel the years-long Russiagate scandal. Now, Tulsi Gabbard calls it a, quote, conspiracy to subvert President Trump's 2016 victory, unquote. She has to get more specific than that. I don't think you can just say in general, it was just to subvert his victory. And she's forwarded everything to the Department of Justice for criminal probes.
And what I can tell you is if we don't stop this, if we don't actually say this will not be tolerated, this is not a Democrat or Republican thing. This is about the health and the sanctity of a constitutional republic. And so there needs to be arrests. This is not partisan. This is simply illegal what they did, and we're simply upholding the law.
This isn't ancient history. It's vindication for Trump, exposing how the hoax led to the Mueller witch hunt, 2 sham impeachments, remember all of them involving Trump allegedly doing the Russia dance, and skyrocketed U.S.-Russia tensions with pointless sanctions. So we have video of Lindsey Graham saying Russia tried to get involved in this 2016 election, and we're going to sanction them hard. We're going to punish them hard. Lindsey Graham said that. So it's not that he was in on a conspiracy. It's just that dumb people do dumb things when they hear from supposedly incredible sources. 17 intelligent sources was what Hillary kept saying during the Hillary-Trump debate, 17 intelligence sources say Russia tried to help Trump. And now we find out they were all lying. All those intelligence sources were all Democrats lying. Now, zooming in on the deep state players, Tulsi Gabbard names names, accusing Obama himself of directing the plot alongside top officials like James Clapper, John Brennan, James Comey, Susan Rice, Loretta Lynch, Andrew McCabe, and John Kerry, the human oak tree. He reminds me of the trees on HR Puff and stuff, the talking trees. John Kerry, reporting for duty. The Guardian details how they, quote, laid the groundwork for a years-long coup by that's their words in the actual document, by politicizing intel and using the unreliable Steele dossier in that January 2017 assessment, which was leaked to hype the interference claims. Now, the Hills report highlights a December 9th, 2016 White House Situation Room meeting. This is the big one where Barack Obama gathered all the forces in a Situation Room meeting. December 9th, 2016. Let that sink in.
Well, they got away with it because once they leaked these false narratives and false reports, you had big media organizations who just went lock, stock, and barrel, did not fact check, did not go and do the extra work, did not do any due diligence whatsoever. They just followed and towed the company line. And then you have the deep careers in the intelligence community who either they were afraid of being fired or having their clearances revoked, or B, were so concerned about a Donald Trump presidency that they felt it was okay to concoct false information into the American people, into the body politic.
We're going to keep coming back to that date. December 9th, 2016, where the bigwigs discussed Russia and pushed for sanctions overriding earlier no interference findings. John Brennan and Jim Comey are already under criminal investigation for including the dossier in the FISA warrants, the fake FISA warrants, against Trump aide Carter Page, as Fox News exclusively revealed. In her Hannity interview earlier this weekend, Tulsi Gabbard claimed Obama's goal as, quote, subverting the American people's will, unquote. That is, they voted for Trump, and then he goes, oh, I guess Trump won the election, so now we're going to destroy his credibility with this Russia story. Stressing this manufactured narrative threatened our democratic republic, not partisan truth every patriot needs to hear. Trump weighed in, calling them very dishonest and crooked as hell, says Trump, hinting they might pay a price, and Tulsi Gabbard's pushing hard for prosecutions. By the way, they have to really remove that. They have to get on that Biden auto pen scandal, which I'll do another video on later, that they have to stay on that to prove that he was not the signature that gave all these people pardon, so that they have to come in and they don't get a preemptive innocent claim of innocence or preemptive, you cannot look at them. We have to remove that first. There's a slight obstacle that we have to get past. Gabbard said, quote, every person involved must be investigated and prosecuted to the fullest extent, unquote, to prevent future coups. This comes amid her contentious role in Trump's second term, but she's delivering the transparency we demanded. Shifting to the MAGA base, roaring back, united and fired up by the exposure, the New York Times notes Gabbard's report challenges the entire 2016 assessment, framing Obama officials as pressuring agencies to change conclusions, which has Trump allies like House Speaker Mike Johnson hailing it as dismantling the deep state and overdue accountability for the Russia hoax. Guys, this is all huge, good news. We're staying united, doing effective, good work. And notice Speaker Mike Johnson is on board. Speaker Mike Johnson, Trump's right-hand man, which we've been reporting before everyone else was trying to tell you he's a rhino. We've been telling you he's a good guy running the table with Trump, not part of the swamp. People keep saying it, and I go, I don't know what you're talking about. Watch Trump. All you have to do is watch Trump. Trump has never said a single bad word against Mike Johnson. Not one. So everyone else can say it and try and undermine the guy. I'm here to support Trump's MAGA vision and his specific tactic on using Mike Johnson. And also he's using Tulsi Gabbard. So he's trying to get people off of Epstein and onto this Barack Obama Brennan hoax and onto the auto pen hoax and on to the success of tariffs and on to the success of Tom Homan's work on the border. That is the Trump agenda that he ran on, and that is what is continuing to be the winning tactic, which is why I'm covering it here now to keep us on message with MAGA. Now, if anything comes out that proves that Trump screwed up, we'll report on it. I'm not afraid to say the guy made mistakes. I'm a huge fan. I'm not going to vote for anyone else, but it doesn't mean that the guy is impenetrable. But I'm only saying I haven't seen the mistake yet. I'll let you know when one shows up. And if you see one, let me know. If you're still on board with MAGA, let me know in the comments below. And I'll see you all going, we're still MAGA. And that will encourage me to continue doing stories on Tulsi Gabbard and on exposing Barack Obama as the seditious, terrible, criminal, pseudo-intellectual, anti-American that he has always been, he and his sour wife, Michelle.
There need to be arrests on this matter. People need to go to jail on this because this is about the republic. This is not about one president. It is about the presidency and the continuation of our country.
I'm Doug in exile.